peace, quiet, and the road. No place to go, no one to save, no butts to cover except my own. Tatum pulled himself up onto his old Mach 1, faded black jeans shushing over the hood. Its cooling engine ticked, radiator gurgling softly as it relaxed from its work, the warm old American sheet metal satin smooth and familiar. He ran a hand through his long brown hair, catching fingers in his uncountable ratty knots of curls, and snorted in cynical amusement. Casting his eyes skyward, scratching at his scalp, he said wistfully, "Man, they keep telling me you knew the job was dangerous when you took it. Thanks for giving me the job description after I've signed the contract, guys." The cicadas answered him by droning on, unimpressed. The road was deserted, the air clear, the bright country sky shining off of the curved fenders. Tiny pinpoints of light twisted into sweeping contours, only to be swallowed up in the flat black intakes of the hood. The beauty and peace of the evening softened his mood. No finer job in this world, though. When it works out. Wish Kestrel were here to help. He's better at this than me. Tatum thought about his old friend from high school back in Jenks, Oklahoma, with more than a twinge of regret. Regret for Derek's curious blend of talents, compassion, and guts. Derek Ray Kestrel was gifted not only with a sexy name, but with a knack for magic that just wouldn't quit. Deke spent his time with his cars and guitars now, and didn't do road work anymore. Guess he didn't have the stomach for it. It can get gross enough to freak a coroner. Damned if he didn't have more than just talent, though. He gave up on his hair and adjusted his jacket. A third-hand Battlestar Galactica fatigue he traded a Plymouth carburetor kit for. Both he and the other kid thought they'd gotten the better deal. They were both right. Tatum didn't know from carbs then, and had let go of a rare $500 six-pack. Deke had sure given him a hard time about that. The other kid had no idea how hard the battle jackets were to get. Live and learn. He dug around in one of the many pockets he'd sewn inside the jacket, and pulled out a cherry pop, whistling along with the midnight oil tape on the Mach 1 stereo, occasionally falling into key. Decent night for a job, though. Not raining like last time, and no lightning to dodge either. Tatum was a young man, but he was not inclined to die that way, despite the reckless pace he kept up. Better to run towards something than away, he'd always thought. But the scars and aches all over his wiry body testified that even a fiery young mage can be harmed by too much running. Or, perhaps, not running hard enough. He had been self-trained up to age 20, and then someone from Elsewhere had taken him in and really shown him the ropes of high magic. Their friendship had built before their student-teacher relationship really began, Chinthless admiring the boy's brazen style, wicked humor, and dedication to the elusive and deadly energy of his world's magic. That was, in fact, the reason Chinthless had taken Tatum on in the first place. It had not escaped the young mage that he and his mentor were a great deal alike in many ways. There were a lot of words to describe the two of them, the best of which were creative, crafty, adventurous, virtuous. Well, maybe not virtuous, but their many critics had other choice adjectives, none flattering. Tatum had a way of taking the simplest lesson and turning it around to befuddle his master, who in turn would trounce the boy with the next one and giggle about it for a week. It was Chinthless who had given Tatum his name. It meant son of dragons. It fit, especially since he thought of Tatum as he would his own offspring. Eventually, the lessons simply became jam sessions of experimenting, and Tatum began teaching Chinthless a thing or two. What was about to occur on this lonely stretch of road was something he'd come up with himself years ago, something that had scared the scat out of Chinthless. It was the kind of job he had done a couple of times with Deke Kestrel in tow. He unwrapped the cherry pop and began chewing on it, absent-mindedly.